Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. And let me just first introduce myself. I am Juhi Jani. I take care of international marketing and outreach at the Zoom Abroad. Talking about Zoom Abroad, it's a London-based student recruitment, education, and career consultancy, and we are assisting students globally. So today we are here to have a discussion on how technology can change the face of the international student recruitment industry. So talking about technology and education, we have two industry and subject matter experts with us today. We have Mr. Abhishek Nakhate. He is an international student recruitment expert, and he has been doing this for the last 10 years. And he has worked very closely with universities and on the grassroots level with the students. So on the technology side, we have Mr. Naresh Pai, and he is in technology and innovation from last 16 years. And he has worked in various sectors, including retail, manufacturing, banking, logistics, finance, and so on. Naresh also runs his own software firm, which specializes in implementing ERP software like SAP. So Naresh will be giving some very important insights in terms of technology. So to begin this discussion, I believe that you all will agree with me that technology has always been a part of the development of the society, and it has always changed the face of every sector. See Uber as in how they have changed the face of the taxi industry, be it Trivago, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, they have changed how we travel and how we stay in hotels. Social networking has become so convenient through Facebook. Professional networking has been so convenient through LinkedIn. And it has become so easy to buy your grocery to buying your house or a car from your smartphones. So you can see how technology has been engrossed in our daily lives, and we see ourselves evolving with technology. So talking about education industry is no different. We can see the development has happened through technology. On the teaching side, we see how classrooms have been changed from traditional classrooms to virtual classrooms, how teachings have been changed from traditional teachings to e-learning modules. So we have seen that difference. So to begin my discussion, my first question is to Abhishek Nakhate. That Abhishek, I have read your article and it clearly says that there is a gap and there is a lot of imbalance between teaching and the recruitment side of the industry, wherein teaching is highly evolving with technology and the student recruitment is on a very slow pace. So according to you, what are the roadblocks, what are the challenges you see in this particular direction where they are very, very hesitant in adopting the technology?
Thank you, Juhi, for such a wonderful question, actually, and thanks for reading my article, first of all. Okay, so it is reaching out to someone at least. So I see there has not been a great development in terms of even the teaching. Although we have seen from a traditional way of classroom teaching to the e-learning and blended learning has come about quite well, and universities are accepting it. But then especially the international student recruitment, which is the face, the marketing front of the university, has not taken technology or not adopted technology yet. I think the major reason is major universities are quite traditional. They are like 50 to 100-year-old, and they are very policy driven. They are also, because they are public university mostly, they have very strict policy, which is difficult to change or probably not open to a lot of innovation, but then whereas you would see some, private universities have taken this, approach in some or the other manner, maybe digital marketing and stuff like that, but still, they are not up to the par. All right. The second important reason, because international student recruitment is so diverse market. It is like covering almost the whole globe. Okay, so the unification, the bringing everyone at one place, it has been a bit of a difficult task so far, and probably one of those reasons the recruitment industry has not been changed. One important factor is the universities have always relied on agencies to do the marketing for them. So it's a third party company. When we say agency, it's a third party company who basically outsource the marketing and the counseling for the university. But then, it has its pros and cons, of course, but it cannot scale. This model cannot scale the university offering to many different parts, and although it increases the operation, but also increases the complexity of the whole process. So I think, Naresh, probably you would be the best person to answer me here. Like, do you think, is it the same trend in other industries as well, or only the international student recruitment is suffering in this way?
Oh, well, I don't think so, Abhishek. I don't think it is the same where in various other industries. As I said, I've been in the industries implementing ERP solutions for over 16 years. But one of the key things we need to answer is, what do we need from this innovation or technology? What is it going to serve? Doesn't matter where it is. It could be on a retail or a manufacturing or in an industry where you recruit students. So we primary responsibility, primary reasoning should be, we have to have an increased level of efficiencies. We need an enhanced experience. So it should be less clumsy, less so it should be smooth and simple, and most important thing is it should scale to reach. So it should reach to the nth degree, to a student who's located various 4,000, 5,000 miles away from where you are today. So it should break the geographical barrier as such. So these are few things I think technology should be the answer for embracing technology. But the most important thing is, I personally think most of our industries, wherever I've been part of, have embraced technology openly. Like, for example, I'll just tell you, from a time a sales order is raised to a delivery made, basically, if you want something from Amazon, it used to take what, 3 days, 5 days sometimes. It is now 2 hours. So you order, you're there. Why? Because it is real time. So in 5 years back, I used to use big hard drives and then huge servers. The servers was like as big as my room. Today, nothing, no hard drives. So I do real-time computing on the RAM. So it is in-memory computing is the name for it. So it's the traditional methods are broken today. So basically, if you need to have an inventory check, like for example, a huge grocery store, Walmart, for example, and their aisles emptying, it needs to be refilled as quick as possible. You need to be on your toes all the time. You lose the customer, you lose the business. So basically, most of these most of the industry are embracing technology, and it is benefiting to a large extent. In fact, artificial intelligence, you might have heard, Saudi Arabia has ever actually given citizenship to a robot for the first time ever.
Wow.
And that is something which has broken all barriers. In fact, basically, I can sit here and talk to some unknown Alexa, and I can order groceries. That is something which is this absolute innovation, and it has made a difference to all of us. The way we live is going to change very soon, and everything has to be so every single process has to make sure that it will embrace technology at some point or the other. So basically, certain key, I don't want to use too many jargons here, but at the same time, so real-time processing, artificial intelligence, accelerated cloud technology, machine learning, especially biometrics and stuff. So these things have to be embraced. Like, so let me talk in the same issue that Juhi started off. Basically, today, so iPhone, or there is another thing, so it can see you, recognize you. So that itself could be an innovation a university can use. to see and recognize by face, by thumbprinting or whatever, right? So there's so many things which universities or the students can actually embrace to make that gap. It could be a lot more integrated to make sure that the overall process is a lot more smoother. Just imagine, as Juhi just opened up, right? In the Gurukul days, you had to sign up to a place, go sit there for 3-5 years, learn what you get educated, and then come out and then and give it back to the society. But today, you don't even have to get into a university. You can just sit at home, do whatever you have to, and you can get a degree in 2 years, 3 years, as long as you can grasp and gather what you've been trying to teach. So it's one of the technology is something that will become inherent. If you do not embrace, you get lost out into that stream. So basically, I personally think if you see HMV, for example, Nokia, for example, one of our times, when we grew up, Nokia phones were the best phones ever, and they're not even in the market today. So I personally think technology will definitely be the way forward, no matter which industry we are. But one of the things I've seen from your blog, Abhi, by the way, very good blog, and basically I've seen that, you were telling me that there are 262 million students who will need some or the other form of coaching, or in a way education in some form or the other. And there will only be 8 million of them who will reach out to international universities. That's a lot of grab, 35 times difference. That's a lot, actually, 300 times of difference. So why is there a difference? What is making it, why should only 8 of them get an education which is right in a nice university? Maybe the universities have the space. Maybe there is an international university which is
probably cheaper,
that is required for the student. So why do you think there is this difference?
I think, Naresh, one of the reasons the difference between 8 and 262 million students are probably going to be by 2025 is one reason is the lack of information. All right. Many people, when I came to UK to pursue my MBA, I belong to a very small town, and people treated me as if I'm going to Pluto. All right. Going to London to study was a big thing. And still, it is a big thing in many Indian societies. And because there is a lack of information, people think, oh, it is impossible. It is difficult to go there. Studying there, it is very expensive. But then unless you have a comparative to see how much you're spending in your current college with the quality of education and how much would you pay and what is the return of investment, you would definitely go for it. I'm not saying that the local colleges are not good or not bad. They are absolutely, but you have to have the information to compare and make a wise decision. All right. So even after comparison, then you find that your local institute is great, then perfect. No argument about it. Studying abroad is not the only solution for a great career, but at the same time, it opens up a lot of opportunity, exposure, international connectivity, network, business ideas. And of course, Vivekananda once said, you need to learn from somewhere what you don't know and then implement for the people who don't know. Okay, and that was one of the way that the third world countries have to develop, or the developing countries, I must say, need to develop to learn from who has already done it and then implement it. So I think the lack of information is one of the reason of this big gap. And I think one of the major reason is universities themselves probably are not discussing the problem they are going through. All right. I have mentioned in my article as well, some of the major problems the universities goes through is scalability. All right. As I said, they rely on a couple of companies to market their product, which is definitely not scalable. You would not get a talent which is hidden in some city or a town, small town which is not reachable. There is no offices out there. All right. You could only reach them through technology. All right. The visa processes, okay, visa processes, admission processes, it is too lengthy. You don't need that lengthy procedure. Previously, universities used to have application form. They used to courier the application from abroad. Okay, they would see the application form, they would courier back the acceptance letter. Now this could be done within the same day. You make an application online, by the evening you have the eligibility check. All right, so you are accepted or not accepted. But then that is just a simple example. All right, there are so many different selection procedure, document verification, their visa services. There's so many stuff which is a long process. Probably the lack of the time, we will not be able to get into much detail, but those who are listening, they would definitely see the problem what I'm talking about. The small little hurdles in the process from admission to enrollment, and even after enrollment, for the whole process to work for a student is quite tedious. But a right technology, if that is included, then probably that could be solved in some manner. The one another very important problem that the university goes through is, I call it three pillars, which is quality, quantity, and diversity. Every international university, they need all these three factors. If they are missing on any one of it, they would lose their reputation. All right. Of course, to survive, they need more quantity. All right. If you need to have more quantity, you need to scale. All right. Either you hire people or you hire technology. All right. So the solution is technology. Then quality, of course, today we are talking about applying for job using artificial intelligence. Okay. So people would be selecting candidate based on artificial intelligence. We are talking very simple matrix of eligibility criteria, and the universities would be able to use technology to probably select the quality students. You don't have to deal with the bad fish, which could spoil your reputation. All right. And then of course the diversity also comes in, as long as the university wants to call themselves international or global, they need to have different diversity in their college or their university, people from different geographical area. And then again, it comes to scalability. The technology is one of the way, I shouldn't say only way, one of the efficient way to get to these 3 points. The last one, but very important for student, is the visa success rate. Right. I have noticed that most of the student gets disheartened every time they see the visa rejection. The agent get disheartened because the business is flop if the visa is rejected. University curse because they lose a seat if the visa is rejection. So once the visa is rejected for a student, the whole stakeholders of this industry would suffer. Okay, and that needs to be solved. We need to understand why visa is refused, and what technology can help to make sure the success rate, maybe not 100%, but efficiently increased. I think if universities would start to realize these are the actual problem and start to discuss in their board meetings and try to seek an option with the help of technology, or maybe some other means if they have innovative mind, but in my suggestion, there has to some sort of technology that should come in, because there should not be any reason that all the other industries are blooming, doing fantastically well, as you said, facial recognition and artificial intelligence and blah blah blah, so many stuff. Why the teachers, the universities are lagging behind in this race? Okay, that for me, I feel very sad about it, being a part of this society, of this industry, I should say. But then I really want to do something about it, and hopefully Juhi and Naresh, you would have some solution in future.
Definitely, Abhishek and Naresh. Thank you so much for giving such an important insight to all of us. And we have discussed today some important roadblocks what universities are actually facing in terms of recruiting students, and what students are actually going through while they look for universities abroad. As you, Abhishek, rightly said, that there's a lack of information, and as Naresh rightly pointed, that education is everyone's right. Why anyone should be denied of having the right information. So thank you so much for your valuable time and very important insight. And we discussed the why of the problem, and which is a very important part of it. We discussed how are we going to solve it. So technology is the key to it. We have to embrace technology to solve this problem and make this international student recruitment industry efficient, scalable, and where every student can actually find the right education for himself. So stay tuned with us, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. We will be coming with a lot of such kind of webinars to discuss and to give you more information about it. And you can follow us on our social media platform. You can follow us our hashtags. You can connect with us on our website and join our LinkedIn pages. Great to have you guys. See you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Juhi. Thanks, Abhishek. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.